Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your man, the Grass Ninja. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I want us to focus on the ending of Boruto Chapter 5 and how that will affect the future of the Boruto chapters, potentially Chapter 6 and 7 of 2 Blue Vortex. Now, to clarify, the end of Chapter 5, we get this heartwarming interaction where Boruto returns to Konaha in the Hidden Leaf Village, and he's greeted by Sarada and Sumire. Sarada and Boruto embrace in this hug while they talk about how Sarada saved him by sending Sasuke and how Sasuke gave his life in order to protect Boruto, and all this emotions are in the air, right? But this is going to be a short-lived interaction because now that Boruto has returned and set foot in Konaha, we understand two things are going to happen. The Chakra Sensory Division is going to be alerted to the fact that Boruto has re-entered Konaha, and the other thing, Kawaki and his Otsutsuki sense is going to be triggered to Boruto being in Konaha. So with Boruto and Kawaki being destined to fight, not only because we've seen it in the flash forward sequence, but because Kawaki's goal is to kill all Otsutsukis, including Boruto, this is a predestined interaction. And with Boruto entering Konaha yet again, especially with the frustration Kawaki feels after Boruto slipping through his fingers with that flying Raijin, Kawaki is about to fly over to their location like he's Neo in the Matrix, and he's ready to throw hands, okay? So Kawaki versus Boruto in the Hidden Leaf Village is probably not going to be the fight we see in the flash forward sequence, okay? Because I feel like that's endgame level stuff, okay? They have to deal with Shibai, they have to deal with so much stuff before we get to that final fight. And who knows, maybe the flash forward sequence isn't the final fight, but I find it highly unlikely this will be the interaction that destroys Konaha, and it's all because of Sarada, technically. Now, when it comes down to it though, this interaction is probably going to be a very short-lived fight, because Boruto, in my opinion, outclasses Kawaki. Now, not to mention that they've already interacted and Boruto just did not care that Kawaki was there to kill him with all the bloodlust in the world. He was like, thanks for taking care of my sister, bro. You know, hey, you're looking good. You know, you're looking healthy, putting on weight. That's the energy Boruto's giving him. He does not care that Kawaki's out to kill him. He's like, I don't have time for you right now. You're not important, all right? So in this current moment, Boruto is leagues beyond, all right? Especially with the statements we saw in the flashback with Sasuke training Boruto, saying, I have nothing left to teach you, and that if you take your time and hone the rest of these skills and build upon the lessons I taught you, there'll be no one who can stop you. Boruto training with Sasuke for a year, in Sasuke's opinion, mastered everything he could teach him. 2 more years go by, right? And we have the Boruto we see now. Nobody can stop him. This is the energy Boruto is rocking with. He's so powerful, he avoids using any of his karmic powers, any of Momoshiki's powers, any Otsutsuki powers, and he's out here boxing, throwing hands with Shinju divine trees, okay? This is huge, all right? He got jumped by like 4 of them and escaped, all right? There's no way Kawaki is going to put him in any situation he can't get out of. So I feel like Boruto just strictly outclasses Kawaki at this point, mainly due to the years of training. Kawaki got bodied, right, by an enhanced claw grime. This isn't even a Shinju with personality. This is just a claw grime that was like gurgling the word Otsutsuki, okay? Forcing Kawaki to activate his Karma Seal, all right? This is pretty huge. So the fact that Boruto is slaying multiple claw grimes and fighting the Shinju in base, tangoing with Code while his Karma's active in base, right? Using the Rasengan Uzuhiko to channel the chakra of the planet in base, flying Raijin, Toad summons, and years of training under Sasuke Uchiha. The confidence boosts his chakra even further because chakra is 1 part physical, 1 part mental. If he's focused and driven, there's nothing stopping that dude, like Sasuke said. So Kawaki probably just gonna get outclassed entirely by Boruto. Technically, he doesn't even have to fight him. You can use the flying Raijin to teleport people away. You don't even have to teleport yourself or others. You can just send somebody else to any of your marked locations. So if Kawaki does try to make contact with Boruto, there's a good chance he could just send him to a different dimension, or where one of his flying Raijin markers are, which would be crazy. And then you got the Uzuhiko, where it's like, I don't have to even touch you. If you try to touch me while this jutsu's active, you're halfway dead, like he told Code. And it's probably going to be tough for Kawaki to absorb a jutsu that's not really there entirely until Boruto forms the actual Rasengan. It's more like a cloak, a defensive barrier. So yeah, Boruto with the Uzuhiko, GG. Alright, then you got the toads, literal animals that can't be shrunk or whatever. Pretty insane. Alright, we don't know what Kashin Koji's taught him. He might have the bootleg Amaterasu, the trance of true flames, where the flames don't die until you die. And we got all the Sasuke training yet again. So honestly, this is probably going to be a short-lived fight if it does get physical, but there's a good chance it gets shut down. So the fight probably gets shut down either by Shikamaru just telling them that it's not the time to handle this. We've got information we have to discuss, especially since Amado and his conversation with Sumire was monitored. He's talking about, as a scientist, physical evidence is superior to his own memories, and that Kawaki has to have been augmented by Amado, and that reconstructed karma is clearly created by Amado, which would also mean the command codes that have yet to have been used are also installed in Kawaki. So Shikamaru might just shut down the fight so that they can relay the situation and figure out where their next move actually needs to be. Then we have Ada and Damon. Ada was there watching the Shinju discuss their next targets, right? They're out here talking about, I need to go after Konohamaru. I want to go after Naruto Uzumaki. I'm trying to take down Ada and Sarada. So there's new targets other than just Kawaki and Boruto. The Ten Tails, Shinju, Divine Tree creatures are coming for Naruto, right? When Kawaki hears that, that might be enough of a trigger for him to just, you know what, Boruto, we can wait. Somebody's threatening Naruto. And for some reason, they're able to pull cubes out of the Daikokuten, because this dude is leaning on a black cube just like Kawaki's, alright? And he looks like Ishiki. There's too much there. There's too much connected. Talking about, I want to go after Naruto. I've got a black cube, right? I look like Ishiki. Nah, dude, Kawaki is legit about to be throwing hands with Jura, the Shinju. And then we got to think about Damon. So even if Kawaki does get, like, tunnel vision and just wants to take out Boruto, blinded by rage, there's a good chance Damon will just reflect any intentions back on Kawaki, knocking him out, putting him in his place. Easy GG. And then you got to think, Amado knows that all of his scientific enhancements and augmentations were put on Kawaki rather than Boruto. Despite his memories, despite omnipotence, he's put the pieces together through the physical evidence, which would mean the command codes that were put in place to shut Kawaki down possibly control Kawaki, even to the point where it's like, I will force you to put a karma on one of these Delta clones, whether you like it or not. These command codes that Amado's installed could easily be used to prove that, yes, our memories have been tampered with, because everyone would have imagined I augmented Boruto, but the codes I put in place for Boruto affected Kawaki, because omnipotence doesn't play with the technology, it plays with your memories. Then you gotta think, Boruto's too damn good to just take the L from Kawaki at this point in the story. Kawaki needs to take the next level. So I've got a couple questions. Can Kawaki still force Boruto to activate the Karma Seal through resonance? There's a couple of people out there that would argue that resonance ended once Kawaki lost his karma and it was reconstructed, but then Boruto was still able to sense Kawaki when he had no karma, right? They were still resonating to some degree without the karma. As Otsutsuki's, they resonate with each other, which is insane. We haven't figured out why they resonate, but there's some kind of resonance between the two of them. Now, in the past, we saw Kawaki activate his karma to force Boruto's karma into an active state. Is that something that could still happen now? What kind of reaction would that get from Boruto if his karma powers are forced to be activated? Because it seems like Boruto's trying everything in his power to avoid those type of powers. He's trying to avoid the karma because he can't trust Momoshiki, right? Will we see Momoshiki, even if it's just through Kawaki's eyes? We saw one time in the Hokage's office that Kawaki can see Momoshiki anchored to Boruto. He can see Momoshiki's soul with his naked eye. This isn't even with his dojutsu active, and we know he can activate that without activating the karma. I'm not going to say Kawaki hasn't leveled up in these past few years. It's just that Boruto's on a higher scale, right? So Boruto has actually been training with Sasuke to the point where he can fight off Code with his karma active in base. Okay, that's enough said right there. But then it's also like, did Kashin Koji come to Konaha with Boruto this time around? Are we going to get some interaction between Amado and Kashin Koji now that Boruto's back, right? But all in all, we're guaranteed to have some sort of physical interaction, even if it's just minor, between Boruto and Kawaki, Chapter 6 or Chapter 7. I definitely think it's going to be a short-lived fight. It's not the actual fight that we see in the flash forward sequence. Probably going to get shut down by Shikamaru or Ada and Damon. Maybe even Amado stepping into the point where he shuts down Kawaki with those command codes. But I'm wondering what you guys are thinking in the comment section down below. I've been your man's the Grass Ninja. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Peace.